Hello and good morning. Happy Thanksgiving everyone. I'm Kyra and welcome to my channel. In this video I'm just going to be taking you through my Thanksgiving Day celebration. For these last couple years, due to the pandemic and everything, it made celebrating it a lot more difficult. But this year I actually am going somewhere. This is my fourth vegan Thanksgiving and I'm used to preparing everything for myself. This year I'm going to my boyfriend's mom's house. There's going to be options for me there, so that's pretty awesome. Even so, I'm still going to make pretty much everything just to ensure I have something to eat. Last night I made homemade dinner rolls and they turned out amazing. I did everything from scratch, from mixing it to letting the dough rise, you know, the good old-fashioned bread making way. I love making bread so much. Even though it was a little bit of a time-demanding task, it was worth it. For my menu, I am going to be making some sort of vegan holiday roast. I bought a Gardein roast, but depending on my time constraints, I'll have to see if I can make that in time. If I can't make it in time, I'm going to be making the Aldi's Earth-Grown brand turkey cutlets, or turkey fillets. They call them something. I know Gardein calls theirs turkey cutlets, whatever. I'm going to be making mashed potatoes. I'm trying to figure out if I can make a green bean casserole in time. I'm also going to be using this stuffing mix. This is accidentally vegan. This is from Aldi. They had a garlic and rosemary one, but for whatever reason that contained milk and this one doesn't. Make it make sense. Milk powder finds its way in everything. And for dessert, I'm going to be making pumpkin pie bars. It's still technically pumpkin pie, but a different spin on it. It's almost noon. I have to be there by 3. I don't know if I'll be able to pull it all off, but I'm going to try. That's my lineup for today. It's not going to be something super fancy, I can tell you that. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the video. So I'm going to get started on my creamy pumpkin pie bars. These are all of the ingredients that I will be using to make the pumpkin pie bars. I'm gonna have to seriously speedrun this, so I'm going to stop talking so much and go ahead and start making it. Okay, got my oven preheating. Now I need to line an 8x8 inch with parchment paper. This is the first time I've worked with almond flour, so I am both excited and uncertain of how this is going to go. I'm going to use some bowls for everything else, and I'm making a mess already as it is. I really don't care about making that right out. I just want to make sure that I can get everything done. Thanks, oven, for the warm, friendly reminder. My favorite measuring spoon broke when I was making dinner rolls last night. I was trying to get the earth balance better, and it just snapped because it was still cold. Maple syrup. I officially have my own maple syrup brand. It's also really cheap too. I should go into this business. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt. This coconut sugar is actually on the verge of expiring. Fine. Oh, I didn't mean to hit camera stand. It's in a bad spot. I did not think this through. So I just melted the coconut oil. You're technically supposed to blend it with everything else, but when you're trying to make an oat flour in the NutriBullet, you're better off to just pulse it before you add any liquids, because even with the liquids, sometimes it doesn't process the oats completely and you're kind of left with oat fragments. So let me set that there. Once we use another piece of parchment paper, I have to use another wallet. As I was saying, the NutriBullet doesn't always process all of the oats. I just don't have time to drag out my food processor and everything. Here is the finished crust. Now I'm going to go ahead and throw it into the oven to bake. In the oven. Alright. Adding the pumpkin puree. I'm definitely going to need 2 cans. I'm very glad I stocked up on it. Maple syrup. Some more coconut sugar. It's a 1/4 cup of literally everything. Almond milk. Cornstarch is super messy. Alright. Cornstarch, salt, and pumpkin pie spice. I originally wanted to make a pumpkin roll, but oh my god, that is very time intensive. At the time, sure, I love baking, but when I'm rushing through it all, it's not a good idea. All that puree stuck at the top. Okay. Finally, so it's coming down. Right. It smells really good. Real quick before I get started on the mashed potatoes, I'm going to finish up my pumpkin pie bars. I had to let the crust cool just for a bit, but now I can resume putting the remainder of the ingredients together. I'm actually going to trim down more of that parchment paper because it's bothering me through the oven. Right now I'm going to start peeling my potatoes to make the mashed potatoes. The recipe calls for roasted garlic, which I really don't have time to do. So as an alternative, you can saute your garlic in a skillet for a few minutes. For mashed potatoes, I always use russets, but this time I'm going by the recipe and using Yukon Gold. Same dish, different potato. I guess maybe better result. I don't know. Now I'm just going to allow this to come to a boil and cook the potatoes. I'm just going to roast my green beans. And you know, something simple is still just as amazing as a very intricate dish. I'm just going to drizzle them with a little bit of oil and some salt. Make sure they're all nice and coated. I'm not entirely sure about anyone else, but mashed potatoes without gravy feels incredibly wrong to me. So I am quickly whipping up some vegan gravy. Should have added the garlic first, but that's okay. Forgot to mention I added flour. Now I just added soy sauce, onion powder. Oh my god, Alexa scared the shit out of me. Alexa, stop, please. That means my pumpkin pie bars are done. Shit, I was not expecting that. Let me finish this real quick. Some sage, thyme. The recipe calls for a bouillon cube, but I don't have bouillon cubes, so I'm going to be using a teaspoon of this instead. I've had it in my cupboard for a while. Have yet to use it. Never got a chance to, so this is the perfect opportunity to try it. Let's not forget some pepper. My whisk is still packed away. Compensate, I am using a fork. Would not recommend, but you know. The potatoes are done. Now all that's left to do is to mash them. I don't have a potato masher, but my mom always used her stand mixer for her mashed potatoes, and they turned out very fluffy and delicious, so I'm going to be trying that for the first time. Plus it saves me from having to get a potato masher. Now I'm going to add in sauteed garlic, vegan butter. I used Earth Balance for my dinner rolls last night, but one of my favorite cost-effective and delicious vegan butters is the Country Crock plant butter with avocado oil. They also have one made with olive oil that's really good, but I prefer this one. It's a really good vegan butter. Going to add a decent amount of black pepper. Dear God, some more salt. Let's see how this does. I just added a small splash of soy milk because I have it to use up, and I also want it to be just a little bit creamier. The green beans have finished roasting, the mashed potatoes are done, as well as the gravy. I only have to make the brioche stuffing and my turkey breast cutlets. It's very hard to find anything vegan brioche, so I'm really excited to try this. And just for anybody who wants to have that peace of mind, the allergens are listed right there. So there you go. I'm just going to be cooking it based on the packaging directions. And let's go ahead and get this wrapped up. 1.5 cups of water, half a stick of butter, which makes me happy because usually I don't always finish these butter sticks. It appears that the butter has pretty much melted. Now I am going to add in the stuffing mix. Now it's time to go bye-bye from heat. There's going to be a quick change of plans. I don't have time to make my Gardein turkey roast. It takes at least 2.5 hours to make, and it is currently going on 1. I have to be there around 3-ish, as aforementioned, so that's really pushing it. These, however, only take 10 minutes to make. That's probably what I'm going to be making instead. I have had both of these before. They're really good, and I love the fact that they're super quick and easy to prepare. I decided to make the herbed turkey breast. I'll probably have the oven roasted one another time in the oven. There you go. Okay, so from this point on, my anxious ass decided to do a voiceover instead of talking as I record because I was too nervous to talk in front of everybody. So anyway, here is the finished bread, and those are the turkey cutlets that just turkey breast, yeah, that just came out of the oven. So here is my finished plate. I brought over some of the dinner rolls on a whim just because my boyfriend suggested it, and I'm glad I did because everybody raved over them and chose them over the non-vegan rolls that were there. It took me by surprise and made me happy. Anyway, my boyfriend's grandmother made me collard greens and this cucumber pepper salad to have with my meal. And then when I got home, I had one of the pumpkin pie bars with this so delicious cocoa. It is by far my favorite dairy-free whipped cream alternative, and that's everything that I had for my Thanksgiving dinner. I am back several days later with an outro at long last. I meant to record it on Thanksgiving night, but after dessert I had to take an hour power nap to prepare for my Black Friday overnight shift. Thank goodness I did it overnight because right as soon as the madness was starting, I was getting out. Plus, I have 3 days off, so anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. All of the recipes that you saw in the video will be in the description box below, just in case you decide you like to make them as well. I also hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving if you choose to celebrate it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, take care. Bye.